What is going on, everybody? I wanted to give you all my official review of the StormCast official Age of Sigmar podcast from Games Workshop. Before we get into that, please subscribe. We're on our way to 200. We're going to be doing another giveaway, so stay tuned for that. So when you're watching the StormCast podcast, so every time I say StormCast, first of all, the thing I hate the most is it's called StormCast, which is the exact name of a faction in the game. So you're like, oh, have you watched StormCast? And it's like, well, what are you talking about? StormCast podcast? It's like a clever name, but it's not a good name, I don't think. I don't know. It's kind of irritating to me. But if I say StormCast, I'm talking about the name of the Games Workshop Age of Sigmar podcast. Now, if you're not on Facebook, you're not in any like Warhammer groups on Facebook, you are not active and searching YouTube for, 40K or Warhammer stuff, AOS stuff, and you never check the community site, then this podcast is going to be great because it has a lot of the same information that all these other things have, and it's mostly because it's all coming from the community site, which of course is then shared by everybody on Facebook and built in, people have discussions about it. And then people who have like great Warhammer shows like the Honest Wargamer or Warhammer Weekly, they will also talk about it. So everything they say in the StormCast, it's not new. And the big difference of it, like the official podcast versus other podcasts, some people call it like tinfoil hatting, where they just kind of do wild speculations and guesses at what's coming up. But that actually turns out to be some of the most entertaining parts of the podcast, because the StormCast podcast, these guys already know exactly what's happening, right? They know all the information, so they have to pretend they don't. You see what I'm saying here? So it's like watching two people trying, like, it, I don't know, something about it feels off, and I think this is where the disconnect happens. Instead of like Vince and Tom rambling and having a good conversation about the rumor engine, if these two guys on the StormCast talk about it, they know exactly what it is, so they just have to say the most bare bones obvious things and make sure that those things have already been said or they have had the okay to say them on the podcast. So this comes off really pretty weird to watch. I feel like not cringeworthy, but there's something just really odd about it. And I think it's that, the ability that you're picking up on them pretending they don't know all the information. So they're trying to act like what they like or don't like about something. And really all it is doing is just the most bare bones, basic, oh, that's going to be really cool to give +2 movement to a unit, But it's just not that. It's weird, right? And then they bring out the designers and stuff, and then they are kind of just like reinforcing what the other guys said, or they're like showing you the product, but they're not showing you anything. Like, it'd be more interesting to have somebody talk about it that didn't know what they were talking about, like guessing at what's in the box, than the guy just telling me what's in the box. I don't know. It's like if somebody told you a codex coming out was really cool, and say the Imperial Knight Codex, right? On like one of the other YouTube channels, they'll give you like a review of the codex and what they like and what they don't like. But if it was an official review of the codex, it would be how, everything was good and how you're going to want 3 of these, when most people who maybe play the game could easily pick up, maybe, you might not want any of those. They might be terrible, but they have some fluffy rule that sounds maybe interesting on paper. So you feel like one maybe lying to you, and the other one's a little more honest. So it's interesting when it comes to that. Another thing is this podcast is doing 3 episodes a week, which is cool because I'm always looking for more content, and I have been watching them all, and I'll probably continue to watch them all. But already on episode 4, I'm really kind of half-assed paying attention. But after AOS 2 is released, what are they going to talk about for 3 episodes a week? Because right now they're barely talking about anything, and all it is a recap of what the community website already told everybody. So if they're not talking about what's coming up for AOS 2, and this is an AOS podcast, they have nothing to talk about, maybe? I don't know. So it's interesting to think because, maybe they're holding out on stuff, but obviously the big news in Age of Sigmar is going to be AOS 2. It just doesn't seem like they're going to have a lot of material, I guess. Or they're going to continue to pretend they don't know what's coming and be like, oh, have you seen this rumor engine? A lot of people said they're squigs, but we don't know what they are. What do you think? And the other guy will be like, well, they look pretty cool, but I can't tell what they are. And then these 2 guys probably in the other room have these models sitting on their desk that they're painting on their lunch break. So I don't know, it comes off super weird to me personally. So that is my review of the StormCast Games Workshop official podcast. I am a subscriber. I do watch it. We'll do a little bonus here. I would love if they did a once a month or once in a while heavy metal team painting tutorial, like the real high level painters painting. I don't need to see Mephiston red with Nuln Oil and then highlighted with Evil Sun Scarlet ever again on YouTube. It's just, we get it. So the short little painting videos are just there's not a lot of value from them. Some of them are really good if you watch the Nagash painting video or the Corvus Blackstar, or I think even the Yellow Stampa one was pretty good. But they used to do those longer ones that had some interesting effects, and it's just a little better. These quick paint it blue, use Draconoth Nightshade, highlight it with blue, and then use another blue to highlight it. It's good for the new person, but there's so many. They just do it over and over again, and they seem to crank out those, which don't seem much very valuable, I guess. Even if you're brand new, I don't know how many times you have to see that before you kind of have it locked in your mind. So those are my reviews of the Warhammer TV YouTube channel. News in my hobby here, I have my chaplain, Primaris chaplain guy. I'll probably work on him tomorrow some more at painting class. And by painting class, I mean a group of us just hang out at the local game store on Wednesday nights and paint and build models. I've been priming up some stuff. I also did a nice purchase this week from a guy. He is on the Exterminatus podcast. They're kind of a competitive 40K podcast. So go ahead and check them out. It's called Exterminatus Podcast. It's a local Arizona competitive 40K podcast. It's pretty good. I always listen. And the one guy on there, I bought some stuff off of him. So now I have a Helldrake. When I started my Thousand Suns, I skipped the Helldrake and I went for 3 Forge Fiends, just because visually I thought that would be very cool. And the option was either maybe 2 or 3 Helldrakes or 2 or 3 Forge Fiends. And because I have 3 Hive Crone / Harpies for the Tyranids, I thought the Helldrakes would be the same, and I went with the Forge Fiends. But I always did kind of still want one, and I had never bought one, so I'm super happy to own that. I got him, when he sold him to me, he was covered in dust, and we had a laugh about the, all his dust, Thousand Suns. But I got him cleaned up and primed Jet Exhaust. Jet Exhaust is the best dark silver If I was on another show, I'd be like yo dog, best dark silver in the game. But it's really good. I think I'm almost used the whole bottle because I do my whole Thousand Suns army. I'm doing my Dark or Death Watch bolters and everything, and their face masks. And that jet exhaust, it's a really, really good dark silver. It's so smooth. I have about 10 of those metal colors though. So I'm not sure if people like when I just randomly go on off topic after the video. I feel like it's a little better than just breaking it up into 5 different little videos. Maybe you clicked off here a while ago, so let me know on that too if you're still stuck around this long. Let me know what you think of the StormCast official GW podcast, Age of Sigmar podcast, 3 days a week. There's also a really good parody video of it. I can't remember the guy's name, but he really nailed it. He was on Warhammer Weekly the other day. They were talking about Magic the Gathering, which I don't care for, but it was a good episode. So let me know what you think. What are you excited for? We will be doing some Age of Sigmar videos. I do play it. I just haven't played it in quite a while because I've been such a fan of 40k right now. But I do have Khorne, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, Skaven, all the clans, StormCast, and I think that's it. I have Empire, but they're almost all sold. I've been selling off my Empire, so look forward to some AOS content on the channel. Definitely some more 40k content. One more thing, I got another Taurox primed, but I still have not yet played my full Scion army, and I don't have enough Eye Guardsmen to do the full Eye Guard army yet to play with anyway. So hopefully this weekend I will get either a game in with the Thousand Suns and my new Helldrake, or a game with the Tempestus Scion army while I'm continuing to work on the Vostroyans before we can actually start incorporating them in. And soon maybe a Death Watch game? I don't know. I'll have maybe like 6 or 7 models for the Death Watch completed here in a week or so. Well, maybe 10 in a week, but we'll see on that. So we're a bit of a ways off. Also, the new Knight Codex is coming out. It looks super fun. I will be buying the Codex because I do have an Imperial Knight and 2 Armigers for my AdMech or iGuard or Death Watch or whatever. I don't know which one I want to jump in on. And shortly after, the AOS 2 is coming out, and I have to buy the starter set, the Magic supplement, and the General's Handbook just to start playing with everybody if we want to play with all the rules. So I'll probably hold off on one of those big nights. Luckily I've been talking to a guy who's probably buying some of my 40k orcs, and that'll be nice because that money I get from selling my orcs, it's 40k orcs and my fantasy free guild Empire and Dogs of War and stuff, I can put towards the new AOS or towards one of the new knights, whatever I see fit. I also got some cool stuff to trade with people, so I'm going to keep my ears open, see who's trading what down at the local game store. And I'll talk to you hopefully tomorrow.